And welcome to Wembley for Queen's Park Rangers against Oxford United. The last Milk Cup final, a tremendous day for two of the Football League's smaller clubs. But as you see, a very windy day as well. The rain, the torrential rain they had during the marathon this morning has cleared away. The pitch, though, the charity game going on at the moment, will be very heavy indeed. But what a marvellous day for Rangers and for Oxford United. This is the trophy they'll be playing for. The winners will keep it for 1 year, and then it will go to the Football League headquarters for posterity. Good afternoon. Not quite a neutral chairman, as you can see. I've got to stand by Oxford United, city where I was born and spent just about 20 years of my life in, and with me, just to see fair play, Mick Shannon and the Saint Anne Greavesy. And outside that charity game I mentioned, all in a very good cause indeed, minibuses for the mentally and physically handicapped, arranged by the Taverners. And it's Jimmy Tarbuck's Rangers against David Frost, Oxford Dons. Saint and Greavesy, what do you think?
Well, it looks an exciting game. I mean, that's the first time I've seen a heavy frost in the pitch, Jim, for a long time.
Very true. Actually, David Frost's sole ambition is to live to as old as he looks, you know, Jim.
There's Dennis. You'd think Dennis would be in goal with him being a minder, wouldn't you? But he's playing outfield.
He trains daily, you know.
What about Tarbuck? We had a shot at Tarbuck before there. He's the skipper of the Blues team, as you know. His ambition was to play here at Wembley.
Yeah, he reminds me very much of Smithy, you know, say.
What, Tommy Smith?
No, Cyril Smith, actually.
Oh, and we've got Jimmy Hill playing as well.
Jimmy Hill, yeah, actually, he's got what's those long white things, those pieces of string dangling from his shorts?
That's his legs.
Oh.
You've been out of games, Jim. Your legs will go like that when you're out of game as well.
I suppose so, you know.
But it's all for charity.
It's all for charity.
Yeah, it's nice the lads.
They're going very well. There's one or two of the other lads out there, aren't they? Moro's playing.
Bobby Moore, yeah.
Bobby Moore, who's never...
Patrick Moore.
Patrick Moore, yeah, who plays like Bobby Moore, never gets his kit dirty.
Yeah, right.
So it's going well, isn't it?
One or two dreams and one or two delusions, I would think.
Yeah, and one or two potential heart attacks if they don't stop running around.
All in a very good cause.
Oh, without doubt, Jim, yeah.
But the serious stuff, really, Oxford United and Queen's Park Rangers at the start of the season, not many people had expected to see either of those clubs here, and their road to Wembley, well, United and Rangers, as I said, strange finalists really, but QPR have really had the toughest road. Hull in the first round, and then look at that, Watford, Nottingham Forest, Chelsea, their near neighbours, and what a terrific result. Remember that result at Anfield that got Rangers here to Wembley. And Oxford United, a rather easier passage for United, Northampton in the first round, then Newcastle, then the holders, Norwich City, Portsmouth, including Mick Shannon, and then the Villa in the semi-finals. And that meant Oxford United here at Wembley for the very first time. Let's just have a word with the lads and see how they feel the final's going to go. Mick Shannon, I think I've got an ally in you, my old mate.
Yeah, well, Oxford beat us on the way to Wembley, but I think they like to score goals, and I think they're a side that go forward and they're excited. I think they got their weaknesses at the back, but I can see Oxford winning it.
OK, one vote for Oxford United. Jimmy Greaves, where do your thoughts lie at the moment?
To be honest, Jim, I don't give a monkey's who wins it.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's an old cliche, but let's hope that we see a really outstanding game here today. They're two sides that are not commonly known by people who will be watching this throughout the country, and I think that's refreshing in itself, and let's hope that they can produce the goods that are also equally refreshing.
What's good, isn't it, is that, for instance, the Oxford manager, Maurice Evans, has said he doesn't mind who wins as long as everyone here and everybody at home is well entertained.
I think that's the general idea, and you get the feeling here that that is everybody's feelings, yeah.
Ian?
Well, I think the Rangers will win it, Jim, simply because I think they've got more class players, you know, and I think at the end of the day, playing here at Wembley, that, you know, class will tell. But, you know, I'm the same as Jimmy in this. It's nice to have two teams outside, you know, the big boys at the top to be playing. I think it's a great day out for everybody.
You're not just going for Rangers because they beat Liverpool, are you?
Well, I think if you're looking at their road to Wembley, I mean, they played all First Division sides and it was really tough for them, you know. I think you've got to say they're the form team in the Cup, if you like, so I'll go for them.
All right, well, let's just mark your card a little bit because the two sides might not be all that well known to you. First of all, Oxford United. Well, I know them like the back of my hand, but here's Jimmy Greaves' view on some of the key figures in the United team.
Well, of course, we've got John Aldridge, and for my mind, he's the Midlands Player of the Year, Jim, without doubt. He's been so consistent, a goal in every other game, and that's it. He's great at taking goals. He's marvellous at the job. Jeremy Charles, well, he's doing what his famous dad and his famous uncle have never done, and that's get to Wembley for a cup final, and he's equally as good in the air as both of them. Ray Houghton, well, a jock from Glasgow. Oxford will be looking to him to play very well in the middle of the field. Good schooling, comes from West Ham originally, so he knows what it's all about. No doubt about that. And on to Gary Briggs. Well, this guy takes no prisoners. He's been with them since 1977, and he's not going to let anyone down. And then on to Malcolm Shotton. I think I probably played against him when he was playing for Nuneaton Borough and I was playing for Barnet. So the game against him obviously set him well on his career, Jim.
Yeah,
and he's not looked back since, has he? So
right.
That's how I see the Oxford lads.
All right, well, let's move straight on and have a look at Queen's Park Rangers, a team with much more Wembley experience and sprinkled with international as well. Saint.
Well, there's Gary Bannister, and leading goal scorer, Jim, for the Rangers with 17 goals. A very good player, you know, good control, good balance, and I think today, you know, he'll be an outstanding player for the Rangers. I would look to Banner as being a match winner today. Michael Robinson, who, you know, has only played 27 games this year, only scored 5 goals, but remember this one against Chelsea. What a cracking goal that was. I don't think anybody will forget that, and a goal half as good as that today, I think, would suit Michael. But a hard-working player up front for him. Terry Fennick, skipper, good player, international player as well, Jim, you know, so his experience will obviously count. He takes the penalty kicks, and he hasn't scored that many goals, but that one there against Liverpool in the semi-final first leg. There, Alan McDonald. Now, what a year this big lad's having. He's an Irishman. He's managed to get into the national team for Northern Ireland, and you know, it's just been a dream season for him. And forms at the partnership, centre of the partnership with Big Stevie Wicks, the most experienced of the players at 29, and you know, he's the rock for them. I think that very important today, you know, that he plays well for the younger players around him.
Mick Shannon, let's just come across to you and talk about Oxford and the goals they've let in. I think 75 in the First Division. Only West Brom have conceded more. I mean, that can't be too happy for them.
No, I mean, that's where they're vulnerable, and I think that if Queen's Park Rangers attack them like they did second half in the semi-final up at Liverpool, I think that it's going to be very difficult for them. But I think that they're a solid little side, Oxford, and they stick together. They got Houghton, who's a good player. Trevor Hibbard, who I played with for years at Southampton, and if he'd been a racehorse, he was a morning glory. He used to do tricks, and he was brilliant control. You put him on the pitch, and he would freeze on a Saturday. But he's got the ability, and he's done well for Oxford. They've got a lot of ability. The little lad Phillips is a good player. And I think that going forward, I can see Oxford scoring goals.
Yeah. Jimmy, what about Wembley experience and Oxford's lack of it? Because, I mean, certain teams come here and just don't perform at all. Do you think that might be the case with Oxford?
Well, we've talked about this so many times, Jim. I don't necessarily think that experience plays its part in cup finals, because there are times when you always look at the players and say, well, these are the experienced players, these are the good players, these are the players to do well. And as we all know, it never often quite happens like that. You get players who you don't expect, who actually come through and do the old bizzo on the day. And it's very difficult to sort of lay down any hard and fast rules when you're talking about cup finals. And as I see it, I think Saint's right. If you look at both teams, Rangers slightly have the edge, but when you listen to Mike's argument just then, you say, well, he's right as well. And let's hope that we're all right and it does gel together.
Yeah, I think what you're looking for, Jim, really is to have an open game, you know, where both sides go out and enjoy the occasion and play, you know, a good attacking football. And I think they're like that. I don't think the defensive teams
No, I don't think either of them are, but the trouble is, it is a cup final. And I'll tell you what, nobody likes to get beat here. And no matter what the managers say of that, when you're down there and you're a player, you think, first, number one, we're not going to get beat.
Well, did you feel this last year?
Most definitely. When we played last year, once we went 1 goal up, I said, right, let's keep it tight, let's not give anything away. No one remembers a loser out here. And you know, this is the only place to be, and people only remember winners.
OK, well, let's just see what the key figures have been saying to us. They've been down on the pitch talking to our two interviewers, Peter Brackley and Martin Tyler.
Well, we've got the Oxford United strike force here, John Aldridge and Jeremy Charles. John, you've been here as a spectator before, watching your boyhood favourites, Liverpool. How does it feel now to be out here as a player?
It's tremendous, I tell you, it's different class. I've stood at either end when the teams have come out, and I know it's going through their minds and all that.
And I presume you've seen Liverpool win here more often than lose.
Yeah, just a few. Not much in it though. I've seen them lose against Man United, so I hope we don't do that today.
Jeremy, how does the partnership work with you two?
Well, I don't think any of us know what we're doing, so it works quite well. No, we've had a run of games, about 14 games now, and we seem to hit a bit of a pattern, so hopefully it continue today, and John and myself will get one apiece.
Everybody's backing John to score. Do you fancy him?
Well, I always fancy John to score whenever he plays, really. He's a good goal scorer, and so hopefully he'll get a couple today.
Chaps, I hope you enjoy your afternoon. Thanks very much.
Last night. Well, Malcolm Shotton, Oxford captain, now that you're finally here, how much are you relishing the occasion, Mark?
Oh, tremendous. I mean, the atmosphere here up to now, even half full, is absolutely different class. As we've coming in, you know, the yellow and blues all over the place, it's magnificent.
What have the past couple of days been like for you? I know you were worrying whether you would sleep or not on Friday and Saturday night.
Yeah, I slept well. I was quite pleased that I've been sleeping well. We're glad to get here, obviously. The pressure's been mounting, but it's nice to get here and get it over and done with.
Alan Judge, goalkeeper, of course, of Oxford United, and born, what, just a couple of miles from here?
That's right, Kingsbury, near Harrow, yeah.
What are your feelings then about being here today? It's always a very nervous occasion for goalkeepers, of course.
That's right. Well, it doesn't help when people ring up and say that there's going to be a lot of pressure on me. And I must say I haven't felt it too much up to now. Really, I've just been looking forward to the occasion. I mean, the atmosphere already, like Malcolm says, it's not even half full yet, and I can barely hear you.
Maurice Evans, you've just been looking up at the Oxford United fans behind our camera there. The banner's catching your eye.
Yes, Aldridge strikes faster than Maxwell's printers. Tremendous, eh?
You've been very low-key yourself about your involvement in this final, but now that you're actually out here, what are your emotions?
Yeah, I'm enjoying it very much so. Looking forward to the game getting started, as you normally do before any game. But yeah, I want to get on with it as quickly as we can.
A very proud day for you.
Yes, yeah. Never thought this would ever happen. You know, I've been involved in the game a long time. Never dreamt of this. No.
The teams are going to be out any moment now. It's a tremendous day out this, though, for the Oxford fans there. Oxfordshire just about empty at the moment, I would think. And QPR, they haven't had all that far to come here to Wembley. The teams will be out any moment now. Rejoin us in a couple of minutes.
Number 1, Alan Judge. Number 3, John Truick. Number 6, Malcolm Shotton. Number 5, Gary Briggs. Number 2, Dave Langan. Number 11, Kevin Brock. Number 10, Trevor Hebbard. Number 4, Les Phillips. Number 7, Ray Houghton. Number 8, John Aldridge. Number 9, Jeremy Charles.
And Oxford then in the yellow shirts. The yellow fever is here. I saw one banner at the Oxford end. And blue shorts attacking the goal to our left. Rangers in those blue and white hoops. Instantly Hebert's on the move, but it's Fenwick who gets it back for a first touch for Paul Barron. Robinson's header. Shotton is shadowing Bannister, and Oxford get the throw. John Truick, number 3. Actually scored here at Wembley for England schoolboys way back. It's Charles, his first touch. Ball out of play. Kevin Brock thought otherwise, but the linesman's flag was up. It'll be a throw to Rangers. Certainly plenty to play for here today. Byrne takes it on, and it'll be Phillips who gets it back, and now Judge has got the touch. £72,000 for the winners, £55,000 for the losers. They reckon that's the biggest team prize in British sport. And Jim Smith, the manager of Rangers, is the man who's looking for the winners' prize. In fact, Jim Smith handled all but one of the players in his time at Oxford. I think Ray Houghton is the only one that he didn't sign, the only one that Maurice Evans has signed since he took over, who's actually on the field today. There's Houghton, he came from Fulham and was with West Ham before that. Pick on by Wicks. Little Phillips getting a bit of leeway on it, and in the end it was Brock who turned it away and into touch. Robinson again with a throw. Jeremy Charles right back there marking Wicks.
That must be the biggest balloon you've ever seen at Wembley, Brian. Somebody will need to burst it because it keeps coming on.
Well, it's Robinson with the throw then for Rangers, and a good long throw he's got. Wicks knocking it on, and in the end it was Shotton, all hands to the pump there for Oxford. Shotton got it away. Martin Allen was just caught by Aldridge there as he tried to make an interception. The indoors, Terry Fenwick. Truick's header, Allen coming in quickly, Truick again, Charles. It's a good ball there, picking out David Langan, who's a good attacking fullback. Played in nicely, but an offside against Houghton. Again, Robinson. Fenwick winning it well in the air, very positive indeed. Byrne playing it back for Warren Neal, offside. Not taken from the right spot. And Judge, the 25-year-old keeper. McDonald going there with a header. Fenwick helping it on. Hibbert playing it wide. Robbie James. And Burns' pass just kept in play by Gary Bannister. That's a little too far ahead of Martin Allen. Aldridge. That was a rugged challenge there by Fenwick on Houghton. Aldridge taking it up though for Oxford on the far side. Fenwick, another balloon on the pitch. John Byrne inside for Dawes. Now Bannister. Good play here now for Oxford, or rather for Rangers, but he's offside in any case. The York City man, John Byrne. 14 goals this season, the second top scorer behind Bannister with 17. Shotton playing it forward, but easy work here for Paul Barron. Truick that time, the ball fell kindly for him, and the pace to get beyond Shotton. No, he hasn't, and he gets a corner. McDonald is forward for this, and Wicks is coming forward also. Briggs is picking out McDonald. Certainly got plenty of height ranges for these sort of situations. Michael Robinson, who's a 6-footer, Byrne, who's a big lad, McDonald, who's 6'2", Wicks, who's 6'2". Robbie James with a corner,
Having said that, Brian, you know that when you look at the Oxford side, and they've got Briggs, Shotton and Jeremy Charles, they've got 3 big boys as well. And really in the Rangers team, I think apart from the 2 central defenders, you could say that Burnley's the next biggest player, so they don't really have a big side.
It'll be Alan Judge with the goal kick. Played back by Warren Neal. What a remarkable 3 weeks he's had. When he cracked that cheekbone, the specialist said 6 weeks out, he thought Wembley's finished. He's been living on mashed up baby food almost for 2 or 3 weeks, but he's got himself fit and he's into the action again, and here he is again. It's a neat little right back. Shotton getting it away. Too high for Jeremy Charles. Wicks heading it down. Here's Phillips, who could have a big influence on the midfield. He's such a busy little player. Langan. Hibbard. Martin Allen. Too slow.
He was looking actually for forward runners there, Brian, and nobody moving in the Rangers team.
Again, Robinson winning it in the air. They're throwing a lot of high balls up towards Robinson, obviously feeling that can get the better of Truick in the air.
They're playing wide on the right-hand side here, Michael Robinson. I thought perhaps he'd have played nearer the centre forward role.
Wicks gets it back.
He's a big, strong running player, Michael Robinson, and could cause a bit of trouble down that flank.
Bannister coming off his man nicely and finding Finnick, who returns the ball. It wasn't a very good one. It falls in the end for MacDonald. And now for Houghton for Oxford. Phillips. This is big Gary Briggs. Briggs up above Aldridge. Huge responsibility on the Queen's Park Rangers number 5, keeping a check on Aldridge, but it's Langham brought down by Dawes. And a free kick. They pushed Shotton and Briggs forward, leaving just Hibbard and Truick back. Shotton. Truick. Langham. Trying to get Houghton behind the defender, behind Dawes, and he's done so. But Dawes got back very quickly at the expense of a corner. For a moment it looked as though Houghton might have got in behind them. And certainly Aldridge and Charles were waiting for something in the middle. Dawes did well. Robinson back the number 11 to help out now, as you can see. 2 men at that near post. Wicks as well. Shotton's gone in to disturb them. Here comes the corner. And it was Bannister's header that got it clear. 10 minutes of the first half gone in this Milk Cup final. 0-0 the score. Phillips with the shot. And it won't even go for a goal kick. Infringement, a free kick. I think we're both fairly critical of Gary Bannister in that epic game up at Anfield in the semi-final, but he's showing some good form in these opening minutes.
Well, I was saying before the game there, Brian, I do think he could be the match winner for Rangers. He's such a talented player, and he did have a poor game by his standards in the semi-final, and obviously he'll be wanting to put that right today.
He wants the ball now from Wicks. Langan beating James in the air, Finnick following it in. Wicks again with the header. Touched by Hibbert. Rock. Charles. And away come Rangers. Martin Allen. Bannister trying to get Byrne away. A good and timely header though by Shotton. And good work here by Hibbert. The foul by Fenwick gives Oxford the free kick. And referee Hackett wanting a word with Fenwick as well. On the right, Ken Fish. One of the oldest men I would have thought to have been on a Wembley bench. He's 72. And Hibbert offside. And Ken has been with Oxford through some good times and some bad since 1964. Instantly just leaning back out of the picture is Ray Graydon, who's the right-hand man there, who in fact has scored a penalty here for Aston Villa in a League Cup final victory over Norwich back in 1975.
Isn't it lovely to see the old fella here, eh? I think that's marvellous.
Charles. Rock. Charles. And again an infringement. Again a Rangers challenge is pulled up, this time by Martin Allen. Again it's an Oxford free kick and Brock has taken it quickly. Hoped to find Aldridge, but it was spotted quickly by Warren Neal. In turn trying to get Byrne away. And another free kick as Shotton clatters into Byrne, and this time it's going Rangers' way. More clumsy than malicious at the moment, I think, Ian.
Well, a few beefy tackles, you could say, Ryan, in this early part of the game, yes.
Neal with the free kick for Rangers. MacDonald's gone forward, and Wicks as well. It should be a keeper's ball, and he's lost it, and he's got it again. Great moment there for Alan Judge.
It's a strong wind blowing down the pitch there, and you know, I think that probably put the goalkeeper off. The ball came pacier than he thought.
The wind very strongly behind Queen's Park Rangers at the moment. Fenwick, but 0-0 the score with 14 minutes gone. Langan. Houghton. Langan. And a throw to Oxford. Or rather to QPR. With the Oxford throw. Langan. Houghton. He's coming in towards Brock. And it comes through for Jeremy Charles. And it was Wicks and MacDonald between them who blocked it. And Robinson now losing out as Chuik tried to get Charles in, but panicked a little bit. And the pass wasn't a good one. Could have been such a profitable one. Now Dawes. Burns onside, but Shotton's right there with him. Jeremy Charles. Neal for QPR. Briggs winning it in the air above Bannister. Dawes. Phillips. Houghton. Jeremy Charles after this one. MacDonald's header. Now Brock. Phillips. Letting it go through to Langan. Should be a keeper's ball. And again an infringement to the rescue of Paul Barrett. Bannister. Fenwick playing it there into the path of Byrne. Neal. Fenwick wanted it, but Byrne spotted Robinson, and now it's with the Rangers skipper. Curious ball, that goes straight to Trevor Hibbert. Callum MacDonald, 22-year-old Irishman. Played such a big party here in that memorable Northern Ireland performance against England that took them through to Mexico. That was a poor goal, poor free kick, straight to Phillips. Phillips back with it again, the little Londoner. There he is again. Sign from Birmingham City though. Hibbert. Header, Hibbert. Charles versus MacDonald. Well, we started 18 minutes ago with high hopes and a lot of big talk, Ian. At the moment, it's not quite taking off, to be honest, is it?
No, it's not. It's a little, quiet, you could say, at the moment. Brian. I mean, both sides weighing each other up. I think Oxford are, funnily enough, playing tidier football than Queen's Park Rangers, which surprises me a little, I thought they might just be knocking it on, but they're trying to build up. Les Phillips in midfield for them is trying to control things.
Truex header, Rangers throw. Robinson again with it. We've already seen that he hurls a really long ball, and Wicks is making a late break into the Oxford penalty area, and Robinson will be looking to pick him out. Jeremy Charles was back there with him. Ball. Fenwick's feet were rather high on Briggs there, but Briggs a moment before had gone in very heavily on Byrne. Former Middlesbrough lads, Gary Briggs. Byrne beating him that time in the air, but it comes through to Langan and simply back to Judge. Rangers having a good run at the moment, unbeaten in their last 8, and Oxford for their part, remembering they are in a relegation situation at the bottom of the First Division, 3 off the bottom, without a win in their last 7. Langan. In a funny way, and I think we could do with some of the rain that we had first thing this morning to quicken the pitch up a little bit. The ball, it looks a little bit puddly at the moment, the ball's not moving very quickly on it.
I was just thinking that, actually. A couple of balls that have been played into the Rangers penalty area have just plopped there instead, I mean, it's worth it for the Oxford boys to follow everything in, because it's certainly not running through the goalkeeper and running for a dead ball.
Robinson's header, but Truex in possession now for Oxford. Briggs. Houghton. And now Langan. Ray Houghton again. Stopped by Byrne for Rangers. Allen, Fenwick, Robinson. Truex in strongly and bravely. Still Rangers in possession. A nice touch there by Martin Allen for Robinson. Charles. That's a good bit of play by him. And Neil is back there. Charles got the better of that as well. Some good, determined play there by Jeremy Charles. Block now, putting it into the path of Houghton. Little Phillips is up there as well. And in the end, Dawes gets it away. And now it's beginning to open up a little bit. Fenwick. Robinson. Flag and a free kick. To Rangers. Foul by Truex. Very mucky on this 10 yards on this side of the pitch, where the shadow of the stand has not allowed the sun to get in at all. Robinson and a corner. No, Robinson claimed the corner. The linesman was there, saw it as a goal kick. 21 minutes. Oxford United 0, Queen's Park Rangers 0. Plenty of goals when the two sides have met in the league this season. 3-1 to Rangers at Loftus Road, and a 3-3 draw some 3 weeks ago at the Manor Ground. Truex throw for Oxford. Aldrich getting away almost for the first time, and then trying to pick up Langan on the far side, but I think Charles had just strayed offside. His father, the great Mel Charles, is here watching him in the stadium today, but he was saying he wasn't sure whether his even more famous uncle John Charles would make it or not. Great Welsh internationals. Now Robinson for QPR. Neil crossing an early ball in. It comes for Fenwick, and it's a goal kick. Judge will take it. McDonald again above Aldridge. Bannister climbing all over the back of Briggs. A free kick to Oxford, which Langham will take. Header for Rangers. Little Phillips getting in. Now an offside. Phillips. Throw. James. Herbert just turning it on for Brock. Now for Houghton. Aldridge battling away. It'll come to Brock again. Here's Herbert. Might have Truex outside him. Little chip going in, it was almost finely tuned there to clear McDonald's head, but in any case, Houghton had just strayed into an offside position.
Game being littered with stoppages at the moment, man. You know, neither side really able to get the ball flowing and keep it free.
Shot and happy to let one go for the goal kick. Launching himself at that one, but it's Robbie James who picks out Warren Neal. Bannister versus Shotton. Really are getting to know each other in these opening 26 minutes. They've scarcely been more than a couple of yards apart. There they are again. Another free kick. Hebbard's gone right forward this time. Charles is again ready to launch himself, but it was MacDonald once more. Then there's Gary Briggs in there. Charles once more, and Rangers get it away through Martin Allen. Phillips cut out that time by MacDonald. Allen again, some good play by MacDonald. Shotton planting it forward once more. Houghton hoping to get in behind MacDonald. The big Irishman there again for QPR. Comes Aldridge trying to get to this one first, and in the end it's an Oxford throw. Charles and Hebbard, but again it was a good jump that time by Wicks, and now a free kick for Rangers.
See, the problem is, Brian, again there we have it, when the Rangers defenders have got the ball, especially the fullbacks, nobody's making angles for them to take the ball off them, you know. And all we're getting at the end is, you know, haphazard passes. And I mean, balls like that are no use to the front players. Because if you've got big defenders up there, you don't want it humped up in the air. And I think the Rangers certainly have got to start making angles and looking to play each other.
It's into touch again for an Oxford throw.
And the game really cries out for a midfield player with a little bit of genius about him, you know, a Hoddle or Souness, you know, Brian Robson, that kind of player who can say, look, give us the ball and start knocking it around and make things happen.
Another good jump by MacDonald. Shotton's header. Will be a free kick, yes, to Queen's Park Rangers. A shove in the back by Charles on Wicks. So big Steve Wicks. Cleared by Phillips. Wicks again. Now Hebbard with a chance to run. With Truex outside him. And with Aldridge and Charles up ahead of him. The plate in there for Aldridge. No penalty. The Howls from Oxfordshire said, what about it, ref? And that must have been touch and go. It was the first real break. And the first chance we've had of seeing Aldridge really on the move. A delightful ball played to him. I think it was by Hebbard. Ian?
Yes, it was a super ball. I mean, he fooled everybody by playing it through the middle. And the one thing about Aldridge, he didn't appeal for a penalty, and yet it looked to me as if he got his legs caught.
That looked a penalty to me.
Yes, it looked as if, you know, the ball, the defender certainly didn't get the ball. And yet Aldridge didn't complain when he got up, he just got up and walked away.
Now Fenwick for QPR. Wicks. Certainly a delightful ball played by Trevor Hebbard.
Well, that, you know, I was talking about midfield players. That's the type of ball that you've got to look for if you're a forward. You know, somebody playing a crafty little ball in. It was a super ball. But I mean, that's the only one we've seen so far in the game. The rest, it's all been up and under stuff.
Robbie James trying to get Robinson away. Important job here for Truex. And he does it well enough. Well, except that he then gives it to Martin Allen. Now Neil. Short for Fenwick. Encouraging Neil to go on forward. And a goal kick. Aldridge again. Fanny Brock. Houghton to Brock again. Difficult surface along that touchline there. McDonald gets it away. Hit the camera. Truick's throw. It releases Brock. Flicked in for Houghton. And some timely work for Rangers by Robbie James. But here's Truick. Good little spell this for Oxford United. Houghton again. And in the end, it came first off Warren Neal and then flicked away for the corner by Alan McDonald. Houghton will take it. Who is a busy little midfield player, and certainly he is capable of taking this game by the throat, along with Hebbard in the midfield. Now the big men are up for Oxford again on that goal line. Bannister miscuing badly. In the end, Wickes got it away. James is injured, and I spotted a moment ago that Jeremy Charles looked as though he was in a little bit of trouble as well. I know he's been suffering from a groin strain, and both subs are warming up. Andy Thomas for Oxford and Leroy Rossignol for Queen's Park Rangers. Well, 19 Welsh caps for Jeremy Charles, a long spell with Swansea, and 2 years, of course, at Queen's Park Rangers. And while his Welsh colleague Robbie James, Queen's Park Rangers, looks like the right ankle, doesn't it? The Swansea lad. In fact, he had a long spell at Swansea, did Robbie James. 10 seasons there, in point of fact, and then had a shorter spell at Stoke.
A player actually with a tremendous shot, and the pity of it is, of course, we haven't seen it so far in the game, but I mean, he can belt the ball as hard as anyone in the game.
He's obviously got a bit of trouble there with the right ankle, and the Rangers substitute, the former Fulham man, Leroy Rossignol, a striker. Oh, Robbie's going on. Truick with the throw. It's with Aldridge. He's turned Robinson well. Hit one in low, and Brock's header is wide for the goal kick.
I must say that marking by Queen's Park Rangers there was non-existent, Ryan. You know, they seem to be totally disorganised at the moment. They're not playing with any confidence at all. I'm sure Jimmy's a bit worried sitting on the bench there. They're not showing, you know, the form that they have been over recent weeks.
Hebbard up. Aldridge on his way, brought down, free kick. Trevor Hebbard's beginning to blossom a little bit. Maurice Evans, I know, considers him such a player, but just lacking that little bit of confidence, the number 10 for Oxford. And he's made one or two good little moves already that might just give him that bit of confidence. Out with the free kick. Dawes helping it on its way, and Bannister as well. There's Hebbard once more. Could be dangerous. There's a dodgy surface there, and it's not a very good clearance. He's given it to Truick, and now Briggs. Hebbard again, and Hebbard again. Phillips, Langan, and Rangers just haven't got into their stride, and Oxford at the moment having the better of it. Houghton's outside the fullback. it was Allen who got it away, but again not very far. Phillips. Houghton. Rangers ball. 7 minutes to half-time.
And not really a shot at goal, Brian, have we?
No, we've had that one moment when Aldridge was through, when he was pulled down, and when it looked very much like a penalty, which wasn't given. Rhodes held on to that too long. Dispossessed by Martin Allen, and now John Byrne. Neil. And shot him away to Charles. Came off the back of McDonald. Aldridge trying to get in. Neil. McDonald. By way of a ricochet to Neil again. And the challenge by Shotton was unfair. It leaves Byrne writhing on the ground. Shotton's return to his position is intercepted by Keith Hackett. A quick word is passed and a free kick given to Rangers. Malcolm Shotton. Neil with the free kick. Bannister chested it down almost into the path of Byrne, and Langan gets it back to keeper Judge. Was a little fierce in the challenge there, and it was a little bit late as well, but it hasn't stopped Oxford coming forward as Houghton doesn't keep it in play, but it's a throw to QPR. Well, with the way it's gone, Ian, you could say we've misled a few million people in the last hour this afternoon.
Well, no, we had high hopes, but at the moment the game hasn't lived up to our expectations. But I mean, there's a long way to go, and we've seen many a second half that's been really exciting, haven't we, after a dull first one?
There speaks an optimist. Well, let's see. Here's Hibbert, put free. He's turned his man well. Will he have a go? The man, they say, is low on confidence but high on skill, has put Oxford into the lead, turned his man superbly, thought about the shot, and then found the spot between Barron and the post with 5 minutes to go to half-time. Ian St John.
Pays to be optimistic. We're delighted to see a goal. It was a good goal too, wasn't it? Shades of it. Stevie High, we remember in the FA Cup final against the Arsenal, doing that, coming in and hitting the ball, scoring from that angle.
And outdoors for Rangers. Neil. Robinson. Now let's see if it really opens up. Allen. Played in towards Bannister, and Shotton pushed to get it behind for the corner. So McDonald's gone forward, Fenwick is forward, Byrne is forward, and Wicks is just arriving on the edge of the penalty area. Waiting for Robbie James now to take this corner for Queen's Park Rangers. A goal down. Important that Judge gets to it, but he didn't, and Fenwick was in behind him, and Bannister too. Charles gets it away for Oxford. Briggs. This time Aldridge is on the run. Neil is there with him, and it was a poor ball because it was a great run by Ray Houghton, and it went into touch for the Rangers throw. Warren Neal, Allen making the charge, and Hibberd, who seems to be everywhere at the moment, Trevor Hibberd, and has scored this priceless first goal for Oxford. Fenwick playing it on, that looked like an obstruction, but the referee says no. To go to half-time, Oxford leading by Trevor Hibberd's goal to 0. Charles. Good jump by MacDonald. Phillips pounced on that one, played back by a defender to his keeper. Trying to get Byrne away. Shotton and Byrne having quite a little tussle there. The ball just coming off the big defender for another Rangers throw right on half-time. Robinson will try to launch a long throw into that Oxford penalty area. And to that end, Wicks has made a late dash and Charles has come herring back with him, as you could see. Charles with the header. And again with a throw. Houghton with the header. Phillips. Houghton again towards Aldridge. Oh, shattering challenge there between Dawes and Aldridge. I think there were two fellows who were looking at the ball and totally unaware of the presence of each other, to be honest with you. But it's a free kick that's given to Oxford. Robinson away. Hibberd. Shotton with time to consider all the possibilities, which included a pass back, which he eventually takes. Made nearly a minute of time added on at the end of this first half, which has suddenly come to life. And there goes the half-time whistle with Oxford in the lead. Trevor Hibberd, the man who played in every round of the League Cup as it was in 78-9 with Southampton, but then was dropped for the final. Well, he's made up for that so far today with the opening goal of this Milk Cup final. Most people thought Rangers would be the favourites, but the manager Jim Smith has got a bit of talking to do at half-time. 0-0. Queen's Park Rangers in the hoops, with the team seeking to turn that scoreline round and will get us away in the second half. Before they do that, Ian, I think we just got a moment. We've certainly been taken to task by Messrs Greaves and Shannon.
Yes, we have, haven't we? I was quite surprised because, you know, having said they enjoyed that first half, one of them said there's been one shot at goal between the two teams, and the other team had never put two passes together. So, I mean, it's an unusual good half then, isn't it?
Well, as long as you're enjoying it at home and will enjoy the second half with us, that's really all that matters. Thinking about to get the second half underway. Incidentally, there will be a man of the match award made at the end of the game, I think by Ian St John.
Yes, I think we're having to have a quick discussion with Greavesy and Mick, and we'll decide what player gets the man of the match award.
Jim Smith will hope it's a Rangers man. At the moment, I would have thought Trevor Hibbert must be a leading contender. The scorer of the only goal of the first half as we now get the second half underway. Rangers in the hoops then attacking the goal to our right with a job to do. Robbie James. Fennick. And now Wicks. If they are to pull it around, what are the sort of things you'll be looking for from Rangers now then?
Well, they've got to be more positive about going forward, and by that I mean they're not, instead of just kicking the ball aimlessly forward, they've got to be playing it around and trying to get the ball in the box.
Charles looking to get the better of Wicks. Free kick to Rangers.
You know, I mean, they haven't created a chance, they haven't created a shooting chance or a heading chance. So obviously, you know, they can only get better. And I would think Jimmy would have given them a real, you know, rousing at half time. He must be annoyed at the way they're playing.
There's MacDonald for Rangers. Trying to get Bannister away, but it was a fairly optimistic ball through for Alan Judge. Jump again by Wicks. For James, it goes straight to Hibbert. Fennick going in on quickly before Rangers can really organise themselves. Lannon's cross now, hitting low towards Aldridge. It was MacDonald who got it away. Here's Brock for Oxford. Houghton again. Phillips. Oxford's throw. Langham will take it. Chip by him, falls for Wicks. Hibbert again. Again, Rangers being pushed back. As Truick takes the throw and finds Phillip. Hibbert. Houghton. Phillips. Charles. And now Langham. Cross towards Aldridge on the far side. He gets up well, but not quite well enough. A moment of hesitation and then Barron acted. Robinson for Rangers. Robbie James. Played again towards Michael Robinson. James picked him up well, but it was a lovely run by Robinson. And Dawes playing it in. Hopeful of getting something on the far side. And Judge was fouled by Bannister. It'll be Wicks. Jeremy Charles. This is Steve Wicks. The shoving by Wicks gives Oxford the free kick. In fact, it's turned about to a corner. It certainly wasn't where Ray Houghton wants to take it. Towards Charles. James getting it away, but not very far. Here's Langham for Oxford. And now Houghton. Really businesslike at the moment, Oxford. And Charles has had it wasn't a very good contact. Rangers throw.
Very good start to the second half by Oxford. Ryan playing good football, looked far more composed than Queen's Park Rangers, and entertaining at times when they go forward and play like that.
Business now. Fitting back to Brown. Shotton's header goes for Langham. Back to Alan Judge. He's got three brothers, all goalkeepers. They, along with his mother and father, all together as a family, watching him for the first time here today. Scotland and plays for the Republic of Ireland, has done it at Wembley.
judge thought he'd been fouled there as he went up for that one.
McDonald, who went in the first place.
I don't really think that the goalkeeper can complain, you know. I mean, he has to go in there and compete for it, and the defender McDonald had his back to him, so I don't really see how he could foul him when he had his back to him. But I must say this about Alan Judge, he's had 1 or 2 testing crosses today, and he's not handled the ball too effectively.
He's not the biggest of men, he's a 5'11" goalkeeper.
That's right, maybe if the Rangers could get a decent supply of balls in there, you know, they might put him under a bit of pressure.
Well, here come Rangers again with Warren Neal. Byrne trying to get in there. To Oxford. Hibbard and Houghton the scorer. Robertson with the throw for Rangers. Fennick going in. There's Fennick again. It's time for Dawes. Langan. Got Houghton ahead of him. Charles and Aldridge are waiting in the middle. And nodded back in the nick of time by McDonald. Well, the team that Jim Smith fashioned is being beaten by the one he's fashioned is beating the one he's inherited, and there must be some mixed feelings on that trainer's bench right now. And that's the Oxford side. Rangers throw. 12 minutes of a much better second half has gone by. Now Robinson. Again that long throw for QPR. It might come in for Brown. First serious mistake in that Oxford defence, and the long throw here, eluding them all, and Byrne hooking it high and over. A glimmer of hope there for Rangers here.
Yeah, glimmer of hope, as you say, Brian. And, but the Rangers, obviously 2 down, have been stung by that. And they've really got to just throw everything forward now, caution to the wind, and try to get one back.
To Byrne, good control. Played it for Allen. Here's Fennick. For Dawes. James outside him, here he is. Too far, shot away. And back by McDonald.
Robinson's gone across for a long throw. What was annoying you there, Mr. St. John?
Well, he pulled the ball down lovely, and he's got a player support him. All he has to do is just roll it to him and let the fullback cross the ball in. But I mean, you know, too many players want to do too much on the ball themselves.
Long
Robinson. And a goal kick. I think the Oxfordshire crowd, and I think it is more from the county of Oxfordshire than just from the city of Oxford, are here. The yellow fever. And Hibbert, I don't want to prejudge your decisions, Ian, but I think Hibbert's going to be hard to deny. Man of the match. He scored the first and made that with that lovely pass inside for Houghton.
I would say he's on the record.
Right now, Bannister. Let's see what Rangers can do about it. Cleared that time by Shotton. And Wicks gets it back to Paul Barry. 1 hour gone in the second half. Came off Michael Robinson. Throws taken a little quicker. Langan. Too high for Jeremy Charles. MacDonald hoofing it away. Byrne. What Rangers desperately need is that little bit of spark up front now to pull this game back within reach. Hibbert flicking it on well. And Allen gets it back. Neil on the far side now. Free kick to Rangers. And taking off Martin Allen. And bringing Ivan Rosinha on. So they're swapping the midfield at Ian for somebody who's going to add a bit of strength up front.
Well, I mean, the midfield for the Rangers today haven't really sparked at all, you know. I would say none of them have played well.
And there's Rosinha's first touch. There's it back to Michael Robinson.
I would appear that Michael Robinson's filling in that spot in midfield, Brian, and you know, they'll have 3 in midfield and 3 up front.
Neil back to Barron.
tails up, Brian. They're really working hard as a unit. And the Rangers have played, as individuals, as I said in the first half, they haven't really got together as a team to support each other at all.
Neville Phillips towards Jeremy Charles. And it's an Oxford throw. Chasing of Ray Houghton made sure of that. Here's Hibbert. Deep one this time towards Charles on the far side. And McDonald had to push it away again for the corner. Finish up a Wembley winner.
Here's Hibbert again. I say he'll run forever, this man. They call him Nijinsky in the Oxford cap, number 10. Here he is again. Well, really a foul, but some pretty awful direction. Winchester boy. Put on by Southampton. 27 years old. Of the second half gone. Oxford United 2-0 ahead if you had just joined us. Goal in the first half by Trevor Hebbert, and Hebbert setting up the second one in the second half for Rahab. Free kick to Rangers. Take itself. Warren Neal takes it in the end. Hops it into the penalty area. Good jump by Gary Briggs. Byrne. James. And it breaks again for Ray Hatton. Langan again making great strides outside him. Aldridge has gone off his man. And nevertheless, Phillips is coming through. Aldridge is there. Oh, what a miss! That would have been the end of Queen's Park Rangers without any doubt. Scored 29 this season and made the right sort of contact there. Ian?
Well, I mean, it was absolutely superb move, all the way down the right-hand side of the field, and how he missed it, I don't know. He must have been thinking as it's coming, well, here I am at Wembley, I'm just going to side put this one in, because he's done it so often this year. It's a great year. And there you are, he misses it. Obviously just took his eye off it.
Rangers ball. Robinson. Judge. Picked up by Byrne, trying to get Neal away on the right there. Sure he could not too happy with each other. And a free kick given to Queen's Park Rangers, which Neal himself takes. Finds Terry Fennick. Crossed in again to Rex, played in towards Rossini, but somehow Oxford got that one away. And more than that, it's Houghton in full flight with Langan alongside him, and Phillips inside. Hebbert. Houghton. And the ball was on for Houghton. I would have thought it's come maybe a little too late, unless Houghton can do something, or rather Hebbert can do something with it. Langan, a long cross. Flick back towards Jeremy Charles, although it's blocked now, and then Truex. Shotton. Aldridge. Goal kick. Senior beating Shotton. Langan plays it safe down the line towards Houghton. Here's Aldridge. John Aldridge. Cut out by Robbie James. Here's Fennick. Can Rangers now get themselves something to build on? Byrne. Lovely gliding run.
Aldridge with the socks down. Now, funny enough, Brian, I was just thinking over the last few minutes there that, you know, maybe Oxford have put a lot into the game. You know, they may tail off a little bit and give the Rangers a chance to come back into it. Who knows?
Well, at the moment it's McDonald for them. Alistair just getting it by Briggs. Can Rossini get in? No, Judge needed to be quick, and he was. Here's Truitt. Getting it away. Not a very good cross that time by Terry Fenwick and Phillips. Here's Hammond on the run. He's got Aldridge up as well. Wasn't a good ball. Cut out well by Dawes, sending James on his way. Robinson on the far side. Senior. Shotton was there. Pressure this though by Rangers. Dawes to Byrne. Back for Ian Dawes again. Slanting that crossing again. Calling for good judgment by the keeper. Safely finding back. Robinson. Getting it to Rossini. Forced across that penalty area by the Oxford defence. They were giving nothing there. Robinson again, finding Fenwick. Here's Dawes. Pushed away by Judge. Rangers beginning to put together a head of steam and pushing Oxford back, seeking some way to dent this two-goal lead that Oxford have built up with about 17 minutes of the game remaining. Robbie James with the corner for Queen's Park Rangers. Another one off Hebbard that time. McDonald's in there. Scored from that sort of position against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. Wicks was in there too. Got the header in. Good fist away. An important one that by Judge. And back by Warren Neal to his keeper Paul Bell. Dawes to Fenwick. Briggs beating Rossini. James. Robinson backhand to get that ball against Hammond and succeeds. In again for Byrne. Good spell this by Rangers without at the moment looking able to pierce that Oxford defence unless Robbie James can get in on the far side. They claim the corner and linesman and referee agree.
some more work to do in that sort of direction now as Houghton finds Charles. And Hibbert finds Phillips, who's got Langan away on the right. Battle really swaying now from one end to the other. It's Phillips. Houghton. Langan. And Phillips again. And again. Tigerish little character. But he's given it away there to Rossini, who spotted it quickly. And Rangers now have got men up. Levinson trying to switch it completely towards Rossini. Does so. Pause to get the ball back, but it needed pulling back a little bit more to Bannister. Now it's Hibbert. This is more like it, Ian.
Well, if the boys in the studio thought the first half was good, they must think this is the World Cup final.
Well, here's Hibbert. Flag up for offside. Free kick. Well, amazing situation a moment ago with these two shots charged down here.
Oh, well, I thought Aldridge has got to score first. But Jeremy was unlucky there, the ball coming back, you know, off I think McDonald. And Wicks again there, tremendous stop. Very brave.
Janik to Rangers. McDonald to Robinson, to Byrne. McDonald playing it forward again, Houghton in quickly for Oxford. Phillips outside him. Here's Les Phillips, the little chip in, and Wicks again to the rescue for Queen's Park Rangers. And now the break is on for Rangers. John Byrne leading the charge. Robinson up alongside him, and on this side of the field is Gary Bannister. Still going through the middle though. Byrne could be in trouble. No, he sidestepped his man well. Still with Byrne, trying to bring Bannister in now. Robinson and Rossini waiting in the middle. It's deep towards Rossini. Up he goes, and a corner for Rangers. I have to say, Michael Robinson at the moment is everywhere on this field. In the goal mouth now. I must say, if you've shed a few tears of emotion watching the marathon runners this morning, I think you should shed maybe a couple for this bloke if he goes off the Wembley pitch for the 6th time as a loser, or at least failing to win. Bannister gets it back. And McDonald couldn't quite turn it in. 3 times Robinson came here with Liverpool for various events and didn't win. Twice with Brighton, and now with Queen's Park Rangers. Can be a cruel old sport sometimes, but he's giving it just about everything he's got. And there's nothing Jim Smith, Frank Sibley on the left, can do about it at the moment. 2-0 down, QPR, with about 12 minutes remaining. Byrne brought down, but no foul. So Dawes says, OK, let me take it up. It's with Bannister. It's with Dawes. And Oxford for a moment looked to be in trouble, and Rangers just hadn't got the wit to make them pay for it. Foul by Charles on Wicks. Robinson spurring them on. Exactly 10 minutes left now. Plus whatever Keith Hackett adds on for injuries. up there as well. And he's offside.
That's a disappointing thing, you know, when you come to Wembley and really don't do it. But, you know, on the bench there, the Oxford lads, really great, and they're lovely for them.
And Morris Evans in the sunglasses.
Well,
beginning
Morris,
to bask in what's going to be a famous Wembley victory.
And Mr. Fish there, you know, I think it really is lovely for them. And they certainly they've played like scholars today, haven't they, Oxford? They've been a better side, more ideas. And in the first half, as we said, it wasn't that good, but they went in with a lot of conviction and you know, won the early battles. started the move to Aldridge. Powerful shot, and Big Jeremy, a nice little tap in there, but well deserved, man. And they really have played very, very well, created lots of chances in the second half. And I must now make my way down onto the pitch to present the man of the match award.
I think it's going to be, can you tell us in advance or not?
Yes, Trevor Hibbert.
Chance, Paul Barron, with any of the goals that have flown past him, all three of them this afternoon. And there's the man who doesn't know it yet, but will be named man of the match. Trevor Hibbert. Free kick to Rangers. It's Bannister who's down. Over 2 minutes left. Well, it's the most unexpected result. People fancied Queen's Park Rangers so strongly. Neil taking it in there. But there was always a sneaking regard that Oxford would upset them, but certainly not by 3-0. Houghton, or maybe more. With still a great spring in his stride, but Dawes got the better on there. Here's Neil, played in towards Rossignol, and Rangers know it's just a formality. They're just playing out time now. Oxford are the team that are going to be remembered here today. Dawes. Robbie James, a little flick in. Is there some consolation? There's not. Houghton works it out here for Charles. Last minute of the game. Ray Houghton takes it up. Referee didn't help there, to be honest. Fennick finds Dawes, finds Neil. And now Phillips. Yes, the first fleeting smile there. They know they've done a good job, and they know that victory is now a matter of seconds away. Referee Hackett has looked and checked with both linesmen. The final whistle, Oxford. A dream has come true. They've won the Milk Cup 3-0. Jim Smith, the man who fashioned the side that beat his Queen's Park Rangers team, and the man of the match, Trevor Hibbert, scorer of the first goal. He made the second one, had an exceptional match. Jeremy Charles, who got the third. And tough for poor Jim Smith. Consolation in knowing that at his time at the Manor Ground, he put together a side worthy of winning at Wembley. Third division side, Oxford United. What money would you have got then in those third division days to say, well, in a couple of years, lads, you'll be a winner at Wembley. Splendid headgear and a splendid second half performance. Malcolm Shotton with the chairman of Oxford, Robert Maxwell. What a happy and forgettable day for them. The unbelievable has happened, and a dream has come true. The whole of Oxfordshire's here, and they've got supporters they didn't know they had. It rates of around 9 or 10,000 at the Manor Ground. They've brought something like 35,000 and more here today, and have treated them royally. David Langan, the fullback. Little Les Phillips, a London boy who was a Chelsea fan and finishes up at Oxford. And at the very last, the Rangers manager, Jem Smith, and 72-year-old Ken Fish.
Say, Jim Smith and Maurice Evans, tremendous friends, having a chat as they walk out. They're now both walking towards the centre circle for the presentation. Both sets of players and the referee, Mr. Keith Hackett, are going to be presented to Sir Keith Roberts, the chairman of the Milk Marketing Board, and it's Queen's Park Rangers. Their white shorts, their blue and white tracksuits. Circle. John Aldridge claps his hands as if to say, let's get on with it. Referee Keith Hackett looks at one linesman, looks at his other linesman, looks at his watch, and the Milk Cup final is underway. And it's Trevor Hebbert in possession, pushing forward. High ball up the field, high ball up the field, high ball up the field, looking for the head of Michael Robinson. Though John Truitt there again, and it falls to Phillips. Phillips to Truitt. Truitt a little clip up the field as far as Charles. Charles now to Aldridge. Aldridge getting a good ball in now for Trevor Hebbert. Hebbert going forward on the edge of the box. The angle's a little bit tight. Hebbert still turns away. Hebbert with a chance. Hebbert shoots. He scored! Trevor Hebbert's done it! Oh, what a goal by Trevor Hebbert. A tremendous run through. Pandemonium away to our left. Wembley Stadium has gone all yellow and blue. What a one by Trevor Hebbert. He got through. It seemed like it held up the play a little bit too long, but he kept his composure. Byrne beat to the ball by Shotman. It's good play by Hebbert. Hebbert now going forward. Oxford United on the break over the halfway line. Is Kevin Brock still through? Houghton now setting Hebbert free. Hebbert in a very similar position as he was in the first half. Some more defenders near him. Hebbert cuts inside, lays the ball into Houghton. Houghton scored! Houghton has done it! Tremendous build up there by Trevor Hebbert. Keeps his cool, lays the ball inside to Houghton. Houghton runs away to his left to the mass ranks of Oxford United fans. What a goal from Ray Houghton. What some tremendous play by Trevor Hebbert. Oxford United 2, Queen's Park Rangers 0. Peter Baker. It's got Houghton there still. Houghton, good ball forward now to John Aldridge. John Aldridge breaking down the right over the halfway line. It's John Aldridge, faced now by Robbie James. He knocks the ball into Trevor Hebbert. Hebbert still going forward, back to John Aldridge. Aldridge going forward. It's a great chance for Aldridge. Aldridge shoots it safe, but it forced to Jeremy Charles. Jeremy Charles has done it! Oh, Jeremy Charles has brought the cup to Oxford. Surely that is it. Aldridge's shot, first save by the goalkeeper. It runs to Jeremy Charles. Jeremy Charles has put it in the net. Oxford United 3, Queen's Park Rangers 0. Jeremy Charles runs to the Oxford fans. Stadium now is awash with yellow and blue. Everybody's standing up in the seats, on the terraces. Oxford United have done it. Referee Keith Hackett blows his whistle. Oxford United have won the Milk Cup. Oxford United 3, Queen's Park Rangers 0. Goals from Trevor Hebbert, Ray Houghton and Jeremy Charles. And here he is, the greatest moment of Malcolm Shotton's life, as he shakes hands with Sir Stephen Roberts, the chairman of the Milk Marketing Board. He gets a hug from Robert Maxwell, the chairman of Oxford United Football Club. He's still having a chat with him. Mr. Maxwell getting in his last chat, and there the cup now being presented. Malcolm Shotton kisses it and holds it up. The Milk Cup is on its way to Oxford.